Hello, friends, and welcome to Christmas. Yes, it's Christmas Day, and this is the Kings of Anglia Christmas special. And befitting the occasion, we have a lineup of full five kings, which is fitting for this austere day, occasion, and show. So already we've improved on the Christmas story because we've not got three wise men, we've got five wise men today, and we friends are going to be playing Would I Lie to You, which is hopefully going to be an excellent lot of festive fun. And by way of going around the room as intros, I thought, boys, this is going out 6 a.m. on Christmas morning, video and audio. I reckon most people are sick of their families by about 10 or 11 a.m. on Christmas Day. So that's probably about the time that most people are going to be consuming this. So I thought I'd ask you what you reckon you'll be doing about 10, 11 a.m. on Christmas Day. And I'm going to start with, I thought we had Mike Bacon on the show today, but it turns out we've got Elton John. Mike, Elts, what do you reckon you'll be doing at about 10:30 on Christmas Day? What's the tradition in the Bacon household?
I'm still standing. No, so, 10:30, I will probably be on my fourth glass of Bristol cream. Sherry,
Lovely.
because
sweet. Is that sweet or dry?
It's dry. Ooh. And we always drink a lot of sherry in our house early on. Might even have a Bucks Fizz for breakfast. Thankfully, long gone are the days of my little children being up at 5 o'clock. They now lay in with hangovers till about 12:30. So it's lovely, nice and peaceful.
Excellent.
Glass of sherry in the Bacon household around about 10:30.
You'll obviously be on the old ivories, Elt, playing your greatest hits.
I'll probably play a little bit of something, probably after the King's speech. Remember, it's the King this year. So make sure you get that right. So the King's speech, I'll probably get over on the old tinkles and and play a little something.
Big one this year, isn't it, for the King? His first speech, difficult first speech. Stewie, you do have a young child. She's about 6 now, is she, Aya? 6, 7? So what does Christmas, I imagine very different to Christmas in the Bacon household. What time will she get up? Will she be up at like 3 a.m?
Yeah, I'll have been up for hours by that point. I imagine we're away at the in-laws this year, so I'll be on probably building Lego duty by that stage of the morning while all the chaos of Christmas is going on around me.
Will you also struggle to get her to go to sleep that night? Is she that excited? Do you have to take her for a little jog before bed, that kind of thing?
Yeah, there'll be a bit of sort of trying to wear her out on Christmas Eve, I'm sure. But
yeah,
the adrenaline is real. So we'll see how that goes.
Hutchie, you also have a young child. How excited will young toddler Hutchie? Is she still? I'm not sure if she's a toddler. I'm not sure what the cutoff is.
She's at school, so I think you don't send toddlers to school.
Is that a young child now? Is she now in that realm? So how will young child Hutchie be over Christmas?
Have you forgotten her name?
No, I know what she's called.
Okay.
J Unit.
J Unit. Yeah, she'll be excited. It's just me and her all day on Christmas Day up until about 3 o'clock. So we'll be doing all sorts. It'll be quite nice actually. Probably, I reckon we'll be out on her scooter at 10:30. She loves going out on her scooter, so I reckon we'll be doing that.
Sounds good. Roscoe, I'd imagine you'll be out on a scooter at 10:30 as well, will you?
I'll be in bed, to be honest. I'll be in bed sleeping.
What are you doing for Christmas, Ross? Because I know your missus works quite often works Christmas Day, isn't she?
Not anymore. So she's happy.
Okay.
So they're not really the in-laws because I'm not married, but yeah, I'm going around my girlfriend's mum and dad's for Christmas. So yeah, looking forward to loads of food. So yeah,
Christmas is a good time to pop.
No, don't encourage him, Hutchie. Come on, you've not, are you, Ross? You're not. I mean, but this goes out on Christmas, so you'd have done it by now if you are going to do it. So
at about 10:30 on Christmas morning, I will be down on one knee.
I'll be still in bed. So I'll be in bed. So do not worry, ladies and gentlemen. There won't be any surprises. No things in the stockings. It will just be me in bed still at 10:30. So yeah,
there we go. And that's the spirit of Christmas, right? Then in that spirit, shall we get on with the game? So this is basically a KOA Would I Lie to You Christmas special, inspired entirely around one man, the man wearing the ridiculous Christmas glasses, because one of the KOA army on one of the mailbags said that Mike Bacon should be our representative on Would I Lie to You, and I really thought that would be great. That would make some really good stuff. Hence, we're doing this show today. So we're going to have 2 rounds. The first one's just truth or lie. We're all going to go around the room giving out a fact about us, and the rest of us have to decide if it's truth or lie. Second round is find the lie. 3 statements. 1 is a lie. We have to find the lie. So there we go. That's very simple. No football chat at all today, unless of course these facts feature football. So who wants to start in the first round, truth or lie? I think it's only fitting we start with Mike Bacon. Mike, do you want to read out your truth or lie?
I'm going to read it out now.
Yeah.
This is a truth or a lie. I once went, back in the day in the 1980s, to a Spandau Ballet concert. And I got invited onto the stage to sing a chorus of Gold with 3 others. And it was in Birmingham. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, that's all you stayed to begin with, and now we question you about it. So you were invited on stage at a Spandau Ballet concert. Why were you invited on stage, first of all?
Well, I was more pushed up on stage, to be honest. I wasn't actually invited. They didn't sort of pick me out and say, would you like that? I was with a group of 5, and they were looking for 3 people to come up and join this Gold bit in their music.
Okay.
And I was just with the 5, and they pushed me at the front a bit, and these guys come round and picked 3 of us. Not all from our group, but from around us.
And where was it in Birmingham? What was the
NEC.
location? The NEC. This already has a ring of truth about it for me. Hutchie, you were pulling a slightly less than convinced expression.
Do you know any of the other words?
Gold. Always believe in your soul.
I think it's yourself, isn't it? Is it?
I do know some of the words. I do know some of the words, but gold was the one I mean, it was quite easy to remember, Andrew. All they said was gold. I didn't have to say, do you know the whole song? I mean, I just knew gold.
Who else were you on the stage with?
Well, there was it was Tony Hadley and the Kemp brothers, and that was about it. Well, that was it, really, and 3 other guys. I didn't know the 3. Well, it's actually had 2 girls and another bloke, but I didn't know where they came from because they were dragged up from other parts of the auditorium.
And you just had to sing the chorus, then, did you? So
it was just a little bit of fun, and they sort of strummed away, and they said, right, the whole audience in club, but we had microphones, so we are gold. Gold was a lot louder than everybody else's.
Any other questions, boys? I think I've made my mind up.
I'm just trying to think about the fact that you said always believe in yourself. That's not the words, is it?
Is it? I thought it was self. Always believe in yourself.
I thought it was soul. Maybe I've been getting it wrong all this time. What year was this, Mike?
I don't know the exact year, young Stu Pot. I think it was 84, 85.
And who were you with?
I can't remember exactly. I don't know. It was definitely in the 80s. Long before any of you were born.
Who did you go with?
There was just a group of us from Ipswich. Just went up from
just a group
from football.
Who though? Who was in the group?
We need names.
There was cut from my football team. There was
what were their names?
You don't know, Peter and John. And there was
Peter and John.
I don't know. I can't remember their names.
So this was a lads' night out to Spandau Ballet.
Yeah, so we had a weekend in Birmingham, including Spandau Ballet. See, back in the 80s, my friend, you know, this type of Spandau and Duran, that was the in thing. You know, it was a beautiful thing. You know, so we liked Spandau. They were good.
Ross, have you got any questions? Do you know who Spandau Ballet are?
Is it? What, are they brothers, aren't they?
There are brothers, yeah.
I don't know, to be honest. I'm completely lost here. Yeah, I wasn't born at all, so
you were not even close to being born.
No.
Right then, friends. Any other questions? I think I've made my mind up. I'm going to ask you all to put truth or lie up at the same time. We're not obviously going to be scoring points. I think we'll decide at the end. Just a feeling like Hutchie's ratings, who wins the best liar. Right then, we ready? You all got your verdicts?
Yep.
For the audio listeners, I will say what we've put down. Right then, 3, 2, 1. I'm saying. I think we're all saying truth. We are all saying truth. So 4 truths, Mike. Did you go on stage at a Spandau Ballet concert with some blokes whose names you can't remember and perform Gold in Birmingham back in the day? It's a lie. That did have a ring of truth about it, though, Mike. Was it a different concert? Was it just a different band or something?
Absolutely nothing. I hated Spandau Ballet. I couldn't stand them, to be quite frank. And I would never seen dead near a Spandau Ballet concert. Duran were my people. I like Duran, so I had no intention to go to Spandau Ballet. Gold is the only word I do know from that whole record. So that's why I said it. So
It did start to fall apart when Hutchie insisted on names, and you just started saying Peter and John.
Yeah, I was starting to panic at that point. I must be honest, because I thought myself, he's got me here with that one, because I'm just going to go Peter, Rabbit, Paul, John, Fred.
Yeah, Milky. Stewie, let's go around the room, shall we? In order. You're next up. What's your truth or lie? What's your statement?
Okay. What shall I go for? I was once propositioned by Jane McDonald.
Yeah.
What? So, for those who don't know, Jane McDonald is she's I guess you'd say middle-aged, late to middle-aged lady who likes going on cruise ships, can hold a tune. You were propositioned by her, Stewie. Obviously, I have to ask for more detail about that. What was the setting? How did it occur?
I was working behind a bar during my days at university, on the pier, where they would hold various events and singers and things. Jane McDonald was one of those. And towards the end of the night, a gentleman came over and said, I'm basically Jane McDonald's bouncer. Jane's taken a shine to you. And would you like to meet up with Jane later?
Wow.
So you actually were propositioned by Jane McDonald's bouncer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
on
said
behalf of Jane.
You said Jane McDonald.
Yeah.
Yeah. She sent over her help as a teenage boy or girl would do, send over my friend fancies you type situation.
Imagine if that was your job. You were Jane McDonald's hookup guy. You just went up to blokes that she fancied and asked if they fancied her back. Stu, was this when you were straightening your hair?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'd have had sort of medium length, sort of straightened indie boy hair.
What did you say? What was the answer?
Oh, that's the key question.
I politely declined. But this would have been, I guess, at the peak of sort of you mentioned the cruise ship era of Jane McDonald, when she was sort of her fame around that, and she was sort of touring the country, singing at various venues.
How long did it take you to say no? Was there any part of you that thought,
No, it was a fairly instant polite no. I mean, the age gap would have been still fairly sizable at that stage. I was 19.
Okay, so she was being a cougar. Roscoe, again, like Spandau Ballet, I'm sure you don't know who Jane McDonald is.
No, while you guys were talking, I was Googling Jane McDonald. What year was this, Stu?
She's now on Loose Women. You might know her from Loose Women, Ross.
Yeah.
No.
What year was this? 2004.
Okay, so she was divorced at that point.
Okay, your wiki.
Hello, Wikipedia.
Ross is going deep in the research.
So
Mike,
that backs up the theory, if anything.
Did you have a moustache?
No, never have done.
Why is that key, Mike? She got a thing about guys with moustaches?
Yes, I think she has.
Okay.
Was this by any chance down because you went to uni at Bournemouth, didn't you?
Yes, I was at the pier at Bournemouth. The
Okay.
pavilion.
I think I'm
there.
Singing,
yeah. I think I'm ready. Any other questions?
A lot of questions. Actually.
Yes, I've got a hell of a lot of questions, quite frankly. I could be here all day with this one.
But we'll save them for later.
Okay, the off air. Right then, you ready?
Why did you say no?
Good question.
Intimidated.
Oh, fair enough.
By the bouncer or by her?
All of it.
I assume this was before you met Mrs. Watson, the future Mrs. Watson.
No, we were in the very early stages of dating my now wife.
Does she know?
No.
She does now.
She does now. Someone tell her. Right then. 3, 2, 1. I'm saying truth. We're a believing bunch, aren't we? No one's dissented yet. We're all saying true.
Because
Stewie,
Watson's a rubbish liar.
Stewie, were you once propositioned by a man on the orders of Jane McDonald?
It's a lie.
Oh,
That's terrible, Watson. That's the most exciting story I've heard come out of your mouth for bloody months, and you just tell us a lie.
It happened. The exact scenario happened to my housemate at the time.
That's an unbelievable lie.
but it didn't
well,
happen to me. But
well played.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth in it, so it enabled me to flesh out the story.
Superb. So we've been wrong on both counts so far.
But Jane was very much on the prowl for some teenage boys at that stage. I don't know if we need some lawyers involved in this podcast. But
clip that up. Put that out.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Moving on. Hutchie, you're a man of truth. I don't think I ever know you speaking mistruths. So I'm assuming this is going to be 100% true already. But do you want to give us your fact and we'll all decide on the veracity of your claim?
Yeah. A member of the current Ipswich Town first team squad attended my wedding.
Right. So when did you get married?
April the 12th, 2014.
Points for that. Remembers your anniversary. Excellent.
Well
so
done,
2014.
Good husband.
Good start.
Did they attend as for the bride or the groom? I'm assuming it was the groom.
No, it's for the bride, actually.
Okay. So someone that your wife knows. Still, you must have insight.
Can we ask who the player is?
You can, yeah. It was third choice goalkeeper Nick Hayes.
Okay, that's random. How does your wife know Nick Hayes?
She's her. He is her cousin.
Ah, okay. Any other questions, boys?
Was he a footballer at the time then, young Hutch?
He was 12. So no, no.
Oh.
We did have the morning of my wedding. The best thing about my wedding day was we had an epic game of Wembley doubles on the grass outside the venue before, and he did join in that, but no, he was a 12-year-old boy. So
where was this venue?
Thorpeness, the country club at Thorpeness.
Very posh.
Yeah, very posh, very very posh.
So, being as he's her cousin, does she have much to do with third choice goalkeeper Nick Hayes now? Does she stay in touch or
not really? It's kind of one of those where you have to invite your cousin to the wedding because the parents were invited, so he came as well. But they're not particularly close, and I haven't seen him probably for 5 or 6 years.
Do you still speak?
No. Well, I don't think we've ever really spoken, if I'm completely honest.
So he's not a direct line into their dressing room for you. That's a shame.
Why did you blank Nick? Because a couple of times he's done sort of co-commentary for BBC Suffolk recently, and I haven't seen you sort of. You know, if he was your wife's cousin, I thought you might go over and say hello. I haven't seen that. As
you'll be well aware, Stu, the co-commentators for it wasn't BBC Suffolk either. It was iFollow. So keep up. But they tend to, because he's with the travelling party on those games, they turn up about 3 or 4 minutes into the game, as you'll be well aware. He's out warming up with Christian Walton and Václav Hladký during the game, and he turns up at about 3:05. And you weren't at Forest Green either, were you, Stu, where Mike and I were, and he was on co-commentary there, wasn't he, Mike?
Well, he was, but you didn't speak to him.
Not that you saw, that I didn't. And anyway, he turned up at 3:05 during the game.
To be fair, he did actually. Yes, he did, Andrew. I will back down on that. He did turn up. He was late for co-coms. You're correct.
Roscoe,
I don't know. He probably doesn't even remember that we're kind of related either. It's not a significant relationship on any part.
He'll be crushed to hear that if he's listening to this.
Yeah, he will be, actually.
You mean nothing to me, sister.
He's just playing it down because Nick's feeding him a load of team news and injury news quietly. He needs to play this down in case the club's listening.
Where do we go? You've done it now, Andy. You do know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Roscoe, you're staying quiet. You got any thoughts? At least this time you've heard of the person involved.
Yeah, just about. Once again, I don't know if this is cheating. Once again, I've done Wikipedia, but I don't think the boys on the Would I Lie to You TV show probably got stats and stuff. I've looked up. Nick Hayes was 15 in 2014.
Oh, exposed by Wikipedia, Hutchie.
I don't know. I don't know how old he is. Do I? He's a lad significantly younger than me.
And we've already established he means nothing to you, so you don't take any interest in anything that he does, or indeed his age. I'm ready to vote.
Yeah.
Is everyone else ready to vote? 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. So me and Mike are saying true, but in a switch from the current form, Stewie and Roscoe are saying lie. So you split the room, Hutchie. Did a teenage, or indeed slightly younger than that, Nick Hayes, attend your very wedding back in the day at Thorpe Ness?
Not that I know of.
No.
La-
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Unbelievable.
So I thought, because we are obviously upstanding members of the community who tell the truth on a regular basis in print, on audio, and in video form. But there have been 3 lies to kick off the Christmas special. Incredible. Rossi, someone who's known to sometimes be unfamiliar with the truth. What's your fact?
When I was a kid, I had a phobia of guinea pigs.
You were scared of guinea pigs?
Yep.
Why were you scared of guinea pigs?
Well, I had a sleepover around my mates.
Ooh.
And now, all right, boys, all right. And he had a guinea pig, and it escaped from its cage one night. I woke up, and it was basically there in front of me. And from there on, I was just scared of them.
What
Are
is
you
it about
over
them?
it now?
Yeah, I'm over it now. Yeah, I've been able to go over it. Now my girlfriend wants to get a guinea pig, but
Face your
I
fears.
told her the story. Yeah, face my fears. But now I'm all good now. But yeah, when I was a kid, they just looked scary.
What was it about them though? Because guinea pigs make unusual noises, don't they? And they've got some big chompers.
Yeah, they look cute, but I just feel they're evil inside. So
That's a great quote. Guinea pigs look cute, but I feel they're evil inside.
Yeah.
Mike, have you got a problem with guinea pigs?
No, I haven't really. No, I once had a gerbil, which fell out of its hutch and talking of hutch and killed itself, but that's neither here nor there.
Killed itself. Wow.
Well, yes, it dropped on the floor. It's unfortunate. Anyway, that's a different story.
Did it jump?
Yes, Roscoe. So how did this phobia? How did you sort of get rid of this phobia? Because did you seek medical help or what happened? Or did it?
no, I just grew up. This was. I'm going to tell you the age. I was actually 8 when this happened, and just eventually I just got over it. Basically, someone just said, "Get a grip, mate," and I did.
Get a grip, mate.
Have
Yeah,
you
that
held it? Have you held one since?
No, but I have. I'm happy to be in the same room as a guinea pig. But, yeah.
What would have happened before you were over it if you were in the same room as a guinea pig? What would have?
I'm out of there.
what
I'm
would have
out there.
You're
Straight
breaking
away.
out. You're
Straight
breaking
out.
out of that room.
Yeah.
I've got one question. What was your friend's name who had said guinea pig?
Oh yes.
Curtis.
What was the guinea pig called?
Killer.
Leroy.
Leroy the
Guinea pig was called Leroy.
Yeah.
Did any others have unusual phobias when we were kids? As an aside, boys, I was scared, for example, of Postman Pat when I was a child. We used to hide behind the sofa when Postman Pat was on. Apparently, it's not something I've got over either.
I used to be scared of big glasses. When I was young. I'm not now.
Any other phobias before we decide on whether this is a truthful phobia? Stu, Hutchie?
I've got a phobia-related fact that may come up at some point, so I'll keep that to myself.
Keep that under your sleeve. Okay.
I'm scared of nothing.
Hutchie fears nothing apart from mediocrity. Right then, I'm ready to vote. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie.
No.
Hold up. So
I'm sorry.
me, Mike, and Hutchie are correct. Stu trusted Ross.
I would have said truth. I was going truth until Leroy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Good for me. Who calls a guinea pig Leroy?
No one.
Well, mate, Curtis.
Well, you can have a mate called Curtis, but you can't have a guinea pig called Leroy. Has anyone heard of such a thing?
So have all 4 of us so far told lies?
Yeah, that makes me think that we're not interesting enough to come up with anything true.
That was good.
We're living in worlds we'd love to live in, but doesn't really happen.
Right, my turn. Friends, I was going to be in a Hollywood film, but the director decided at the last minute that he didn't like my accent.
What was the film?
It was called Cage Fighter.
What was it about? What was it about?
What was it about? Yeah.
It was about MMA, friends. It was a somewhat played out, some would say predictable story about a guy who is on top of the world and loses it all, and then tries to get back on top of the world again. You've seen it before.
What was your role going to be in this?
I was going to play a commentator and presenter.
What qualifies you to play that role?
No, absolutely nothing.
So this is recent, right? Since you've been doing some of your
it was recent.
work.
It was in the last, I think it was just before the pandemic, in fact.
What accent was he after?
Huh?
Have you got an agent?
No, I haven't.
Well, how did he find you?
Through contacts in the commentary/film world.
Ultimately, what accent was this director after?
Yeah.
Like what was wrong?
I was English.
He could see what he's led you on there because it was always going to be English because you are English.
Correct.
So he led you on. Do you feel bitter about that?
I do slightly. It exposed me to the cruel world of the Business Week called show. Yeah, because it was all set up. I had filming days. We were all ready to go. I was traveling down to a studio in London to do it. And then I think it was about a week before I got a call to say, yeah, director's come over from America. He's watched your stuff. Thinks you're great, but he wants an American. Sorry.
Has this film been out now?
Yep, it's out. Yeah.
And who plays the main
Well,
character?
I guess the main star in it, which you may have heard of, is someone called Gina Gershon, who has been in various fairly underwhelming Hollywood films.
Was this an underwhelming Hollywood film, ultimately?
I haven't watched it. It's too painful.
Oh. You refuse to watch it?
I think it's on Netflix. So, yeah, I could watch it if I wanted to, but I haven't.
Did you offer to try and do an American accent
No.
in any kind of desperate bid to retain your place?
It's just how ruthless this show business world is. They'd already replaced me. They already had an American lined up.
Had you discussed finances?
Yep.
What were they?
Come on. How much?
Well, it's going to be 2 days of filming, and I was getting paid $1,000
a day.
No, $1,000 total.
So similar to what you get here.
Yeah,
basically
what you get here
per show. What I'm on here, yeah.
Well,
I'm ready.
Me too.
3, 2, 1. Am I telling a truth or a lie? Stu's saying lie. The rest of the boys are saying true. And friends, I'm sorry to tell you, that is true.
Yes, I knew you had
sad.
You had loads of time off round about then. You had so much time off. I kept saying to the boys, "Where the hell is he going now?"
I was genuinely a bit gutted about that, friends. It was going to be it was my one and only chance. I'll never get to go to a premiere of a film that I was actually in, and I was going to.
Do you know what? I think you've actually said this before to me. I don't know why. I think
Have
when we were going to a.
Did you just Google the film? Because if you did that, you'd have found it. Okay.
No, I didn't know. I just remember when we went to London, the O2 in London, doing the Cage Warriors thing. For some reason, I felt like you told me about it.
Something that would have impressed you, Ross, is that Edge was in it, and John Moxley,
yes,
one of the wrestlers. Anyway, they were in it.
Edge, of course, Edge the wrestler, not the singer.
Edge the wrestler, not the Edge. That would have been a show. So yeah, there we go. So a mixture of truth and lies. Well, one truth and 4 lies. And I think I'm not keeping count, but I think there's people leading the way in terms of finding the truth. So now that's literally what we have to do. We have to find the truth in round 2. There's going to be 3 facts, and we've got to find a lie amongst those. Who wants to go first? Shall we go in reverse?
First if you want.
Okay, Hutchie, let's go. 3 facts. One of them is a lie.
So do you want them all straight up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I need to read these. I have performed my violin on a famous concert stage used by some of the world's most famous musicians, including Ed Sheeran. Mm-hmm. I went through the audition process for the reboot of Supermarket Sweep and was inches away from making it onto the show before missing out.
Yeah.
And on my final day working at McDonald's, I hid 2 boxes of fillet of fish inside the roof, which eventually went off and meant the store had to close for 2 days and be fumigated.
Okay, so one of those fairly unbelievable statements is a lie. The other two are indeed true. So we got played your violin on a world famous stage, involved in the Supermarket Sweep audition process. Was this when Dale Winton was fronting it, or the reboot?
There's two reboots. He rebooted it himself with Dale, and then I think Rylan had a bash at it fairly recently. But this was the Dale reboot.
And finally, that you produced such a pong by secreting filet o fish in the roof that you forced McDonald's to be closed for 2 days. We know you used to work at McDonald's, but are you that malicious with the filet o fish? Can I ask why you did that?
Because I was 18 years old, very immature, and thought.
But had you been let go? Were you leaving? What was it?
No, I was just an immature 18-year-old that thought putting 80 pieces of frozen fish inside a roof tile was a good idea. While I was being that was it. I was being made to clean the roof, and this was like, this is nonsense. This fish is going in there basically. So 80 pieces of hokey.
How long did you play the violin for?
What, in the concert or just in general over the course of my life?
In general.
Well, I started doing, in kind of primary school, they push you into the world of music, that to try something. I tried the violin. I probably did it from the age of 7 until 12, 13, something like that. I've still got a violin.
And where was the concert?
Snape Maltings, the famous concert hall inside Snape Maltings. Some amazing people have played there, including myself.
What was the event then? Was it?
It was like I think it might have been a Christmas thing actually. Around Christmas time, it was like a classical. It was a competition actually. I can't remember what it was called exactly, but it was some kind of competition where it was X Factor style, but well before that existed on the TV.
Do you play lefty or righty?
I played my right hand, so the bow.
Okay.
The bow's in my right hand. I hold it and play in my left.
Yeah, that's convincing. Actually, that looked quite
smooth.
Do that again.
A smooth motion, isn't it? Yeah, he's got the face as well.
What fish dishes? What fish dishes do they do at McDonald's?
Fillet of fish.
That's it.
Very, very. Yeah, that fish. They'll do your fish fingers in a Happy Meal as well. But fillet of fish is like piece of fish fried, obviously, in a steamed bun. The only bun that they will steam for you in McDonald's. I assume they still do that.
Health.
And ridiculously, you had the plasticky cheese stuff that they obviously do in McDonald's. For some reason, you fold that in half and only put half a piece of it in a fillet of fish with a shot of tartar sauce.
A shot.
Yeah.
And then Supermarket Sweep. How did that happen then? How did that come about? Because you don't strike me as someone who would seek out being on Supermarket Sweep.
Well, this was in 2007. I was a student at this point, and money was needed. Went through a spate of applying for medical trials, doing surveys, applying for game shows, and Supermarket Sweep was one that went a bit further in. Got rejected from loads of them, but Supermarket Sweep took us in, and we went to like the audition bit and did some of that, but didn't quite make it on.
I've got so many questions now. You mentioned medical trials. Is that why you've got such
applied for
ridiculous
medical
cars?
trials?
Yeah, you can get paid hundreds and hundreds of pounds to like go in to be like essentially a guinea pig, Ross, I'm afraid, and go in and just have things tested on you. You sign a waiver, obviously, and sometimes you go in and they're residential trials. And sometimes they're not. I applied anyway. That's beside the point. But that was a way of making money.
I've got so many questions, which we don't really have time for about that. But did you get to meet Dale Winton?
Sadly, not. No. There was like a video. There was like they'd recorded him, so they wanted to see how you would interact with Dale. Dale wasn't there, I don't think. I think he had too much going on with the lottery. But they like piped in video of Dale asking you the questions, and you interacted with Dale kind of that way, and to see how you did. Okay.
Any other questions, boys?
Now, I think I may have advantage here. Stu may have the advantage here, because I have a feeling I've heard the story about the fillet of fish at McDonald's, and I think someone else has told me as well, who used to be a colleague of Andy Warren. So that's out of the window. So it's the other two. So yeah, that's all I've got to say.
That's interesting. You would tell the rest of us who didn't know that.
Yeah, well done for spoiling it.
You understand?
I didn't have a clue.
You understand the concept of this game, Ross?
Yes, but
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so filet fish is true by the sound of it. So we're now down to 2 to lower the field there. So
We
it's
better
between
vote before Ross says anything else.
yeah. And I've just
could
I've just-
I be being very smart here and sort of swaying you?
No.
No.
no. And I've also just googled and Hutchie does play the violin. So there we go. Right then.
Yeah,
so,
you do well to find evidence of that on the internet.
So it's
given the year.
between being a virtuoso violinist and almost appearing on Supermarket Sweep. How close do you actually get to being on the TV then, Hutchie? Were you actually?
I think I was probably one step away. I don't know exactly, but the amount of stuff that we did to kind of like audition for it, I would guess we were probably very close to it.
Okay, I think I'm ready to vote. So you're gonna have to write down 1, 2, or 3, boys, as to which is the lie, and then we'll share them. So number 1, Hutchie once played the violin at a world famous location, and is actually a violinist of some repute and skill. 2 was almost on Supermarket Sweep. 3, which apparently we know is true, he did once secrete 80 portions of filet-o-fish in a roof for shits and gigs as a reckless 18-year-old. Friends, 3, 2, 1. Which is the lie? I think we're all saying no. What are you doing, Ross? You put lie up. Oh, 1. Okay. So Ross is saying 1. The rest of us, I think, are saying 2. Are we, Stu? You put 2 and 1.
I
there.
went with 1 and I changed my mind at the last minute. I've gone with 2.
So we think Hutchie being on Supermarket Sweep is the lie. Roscoe thinks the violin is the lie. Which is the lie, Hutchie?
Supermarket Sweep, I'm afraid.
Yes.
I'd love to have gone on Supermarket Sweep, but I never applied for it.
But you are a violinist.
That would be pushing it. But yeah, I have played the violin. Yeah,
we are going to have to get you playing the violin on a show at some point in the future.
No.
Now you've said that.
No chance.
Right. Next up, should we go Roscoe?
Okay.
So you've got three facts, Rossi. One of them is a lie.
Okay. First one is I can't smell out of my right nose due to putting a car light up there when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
You mean you're right when you say right nose? You mean nostril?
Nostril, mean?
Yeah.
I've got 2 noses. The right one is useless.
I was once 7th in the world on the video game Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the final one is I once drank my own wee.
Oh,
I was intrigued to know what it was taste like.
oh my God! It's got to go there, isn't it?
These are so easy. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it?
To me, these all have the ring of truth about them. Rossi, who wants to start? Stu, I can tell you.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've decided already
I have as well.
immediately, but we'll ask some questions anyway.
What's a car light?
Yeah.
So basically, you know, a toy car, and it was a mini, and because I loved playing cars when I was a kid, like my mum said, that was all I could do, all every day, just play with my cars. And one day, I decided to put the little light, you get on a car, up my right nose, nostril.
What do you mean? What, like a matchbox?
Yeah,
car?
little one. Yeah.
And that left you unable to smell down your right nostril for
Did
life.
you have to go to hospital?
Yeah, I had to go to hospital. That was close. I wouldn't say close, but they could have needed surgery on it. But luckily,
How far up there was it?
It was really far up. I don't know why I decided to do it. I just, as a kid, you're just adventurous, aren't you? Like, oh.
How do you know that you can't smell out of the right side of it?
Just every time I sniff something.
How do you know it's coming through the left? Like, are you like blocking up your left one? And test...
I tested it. I tested it once, yeah. And then when I've ever had a cold, I then now know that I can't now smell on the left side.
Okay. Okay. The elephant in the room, obviously, Ross, is drinking your own urine. What age were you when you decided, do you know what? I'm interested to know what that tastes like. Let me have a swig.
24.
Last week.
Yeah.
No. 18 when I was on a lads holiday.
Lads.
Yeah. Very drunk, and we were just chatting, and we'll go, do you know what? Come on in, lads. Let's see if it tastes.
What do
Good.
you think?
So,
It wasn't nice.
did you
Put that
decant
in,
it?
yeah.
You decanted it into a pint glass, did you?
Yeah.
And then what? How much did you drink?
Well, just a little bit, because I was very dehydrated because I had a lot of alcohol. So it wasn't very nice. It was very yellow, very yellow.
What did it taste like?
Don't say it tasted like wee. What did it taste like?
It didn't taste very nice.
Sour?
I don't know how to explain it.
Sour? Was it sour? Was it acidic? What was it?
I try not to think about it, to be honest. And I was very drunk that day, so I can't really remember much.
You couldn't smell it either, crucially.
Yeah. Just
Certainly
hold
not.
hold the
Certainly
right
not
nostril.
right.
Out the left nostril. You won't smell
Yeah.
it. Well, I think I know what it is, but Hutchie, on you go.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with the world of Call of Duty. Like, how long? Surely that's kind of ever changing. So, how long were you ranked 7th in the world on that? Surely within seconds of you putting your controller down, somebody else might have surpassed you, or was it a genuine world championships tournament?
No, so they have like rankings and leaderboards, but then when it first came out, I was on it 24/7. This is when I was just dossing about, not doing much. So didn't care about school and all that. Just every day from when I woke up to did all-nighters. So the first week I was bossing it. So yeah.
Which version of the game was it? Because obviously there's been various versions.
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2.
So I shouldn't really been allowed to play it, but
what console was that?
There.
What console?
Xbox 360.
Xbox 360. Mickey, you look like you're dressed to ask questions. Have you got any you want to ask?
I knew the answer as soon as he said the third one. So I'm sat here quite just.
All right,
I'm ready.
All right, I think we're all ready. Shall we go? So 1, 2, or 3. 1 is so just round them up before we say. So 1, you stuck something up your nose, which led you now to be unable to smell down your right nostril. 2, you were world ranked 7 in Call of Duty. 3, you drank your own wee on a lad's holiday. All sound plausible, but what is the lie? 3, 2, 1. I'm saying 2. Mike's saying 2. Stu is saying 2.
Yeah.
And Hutchie is saying 3. We is the lie.
Yeah.
Roscoe, what is the lie?
Yeah, I'm not drinking my own wee, boys. Bloody hell, that's horrible. Why would I do that?
Why indeed, Ross? Why indeed?
No, I'm a lad sometimes, but Jesus Christ, boys, I'm not doing that.
It did seem to me to have a taste of truth about it, Rossi. That wee drinking, but well done.
7th in the world. That is
I said
quite impressive.
24/7, non-stop, just boom.
You could become a professional gamer. Stop messing around with this.
Yeah,
not now. I don't play much now.
You want to get on Twitch, innit? Make some
Twitch.
cash.
Yeah, that's where it's all at. Yeah.
Right then. So Ross fooled all but one of us there. Well played, Rossi. I'll go next, I think, because I want to leave Stu and Mike to last. Right then, my 3 facts, boys. I was once trapped inside a Suffolk shop with a boy band member after fans flooded the area. I once reunited Kevin Beattie with a beloved ring that he'd had stolen from the changing rooms at Old Trafford. And finally, I went to Claudia Schiffer's wedding.
When did you go to Claudia Schiffer's wedding?
When she got married.
Where was that?
It was a little village church in Shimpling.
Where is Shimpling?
Out somewhere in mid Suffolk. It's the only time I've ever been to Shimpling in my life.
I think she did get married there, actually.
Why were you there as a guest? Were you working as a journalist? What's going on?
I was working.
Okay.
Who did she marry?
She married Matthew Vaughan of Lock Stock fame.
Never
What
seen
did your role on the day consist of then? Just hanging around trying to get some quotes, or what?
I was a part of the press pack, the world's press pack, shall we say, gathered around the church. because it was quite unusual to have. I mean, this is when Claudia Schiffer. I mean, clearly she's a superstar, but this is when she was a very big deal, and Matthew Vaughn was one of the hottest properties in film at the time, along with Guy Ritchie, because of Snatch and Lock, Stock. So it was a big deal, and there were a lot of famous people there.
Like who?
Boris Becker, now disgraced. All the boys from Lock, Stock, various fashion designers, whose names I can't remember.
See, I know she did get married there. I know that. So I don't know.
Did you speak to any of these stars? Did you manage to stop them?
No. I tried to speak to Boris Becker, but he was having none of it. Surprisingly large man, Boris Becker, just as an aside. Very, very large gentleman.
Who is Claudia Schiffer?
Oh, come on.
Should I Google her?
Just Google it, mate.
You don't know how Claudia Schiffer is? One of the biggest supermodels in the world.
Oh, well, hello. Okay, I'll definitely Google her then. Carry on, boys.
You know Naomi Campbell is, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, she's basically the same level. Yeah.
Fair play. Fair play.
What was the first statement, Mark?
Hold on. What was the first statement? I was once trapped inside a Suffolk shop with a boy band member after fans flooded the area.
Who's that then?
It was the guy from Westlife, Brian. The one who married Kerry Katona. That one. I don't know his surname. Sorry.
Where was this shop? Bury, I suppose.
It was in Bury. Yeah.
What again? Are you working? Are you interviewing him? What's
no?
happening?
I wasn't working. Me and Liz were in Bury shopping, and we saw Brian and Kerry walking down the road, and we were like, "Is that?" Yes, it was. And so we started following them, as you do, because I was a young, hungry news hound. And yeah, so plucked up the courage to go and speak to them. By which time they were in a shop in one of the shopping centres in Bury. By which time people had noticed who it was, and literally they surrounded the shop to the point that he couldn't get out of the shop, and we had to call. Well, they had to call police as a result to allow him. I think it was New Look. I can't really remember.
Why are they in New Look?
New Look.
I don't know. That's just the shop they went into. Yeah, I don't know why they were in Bury. I remember him saying they had friends in the area or something. Anyway,
you spoke to him?
Yeah, I spoke to him. Yeah, because we did a story. Because it was the day a Westlife member brought Bury to a standstill.
Oh. You're sounding quite plausible, Heath. I must be honest. For somebody who talks so much rubbish most of the time, I'm actually starting to. I can't find fault in any of these. What's the third one?
The second one. The second one is I once reunited Kevin Beattie with a beloved ring that he'd had stolen from the dressing rooms at Old Trafford while he was playing.
You saw what year was this?
Early 2000s.
So tell the full story then. So then years must have passed with this ring being lost.
Back when I was a young, hungry news hound, someone approached me to say they'd just been on holiday and they'd met someone who found out he was from Ipswich and was a football fan, and over a few too many beers confessed that the biggest regret of his life was breaking into the Old Trafford changing rooms as a kid because they couldn't get tickets when Ipswich were there, and stealing various player effects, one of which was a fairly expensive looking ring, which had various stones. I can't remember what stones there were in them, but anyway, so he had this ring and he wanted to get it back to whoever the player was. He didn't know which player it was, obviously, who owned it. Could I help? Yes, I could, I said. And that set me off on a mission of trying to reunite the ring with the owner.
And did you? Kevin was delighted, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. I had to. I rang round various players from the day. I remember speaking to Roger Osborne, Mick Mills, and it was George Burley I spoke to, actually. He said, "Do you know what? That rings a bell. I do remember that, and I think that was Beat. I think it was." And I rang Beat, and of course, told the story. He went, "Yep, that was me, pal. That's my ring." And thus, but the thing is, because I had the ring, I'd been given the ring. We had to take legal advice because technically I was handling stolen property, and so we had to be very sure of how long I could have it in my possession, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, and I went out to meet Beat, and he had a picture of him from the time wearing the ring at this family birthday dinner. So yeah,
knowing Beat, that probably meant you're now part of his family. I imagine he held you. He cherished you for the rest of his days.
He did ring me. Like. He did ring me quite a lot after that. Yeah, just for a chat.
Wow.
I'm ready.
Go on.
So, did I once get trapped in a shop with Brian McFadden because fans was flooded the area? Did I once reunite Kevin Beattie with a stolen ring, or did I go to Claudia Schiffer's wedding? What are you saying, boys? Which is the lie? Is it 1, 2, or 3? 3, 2, 1. Mike is saying 2. Stu and Andy are saying 1, and Roscoe saying 2. So you're split. I'm afraid to tell you, boys, the lie is in fact, I was never trapped inside a Suffolk shop with Brian McFadden. I was trapped inside a Suffolk shop with Joe Swash of EastEnders fame.
So were we all wrong?
No, you were Hutchie and Stewie got it right.
Well done, Hutch.
But yeah, it was Joe Swash, not Brian McFadden. Who Joe Swash has family in Thetford, and that's why he was in Bury. But he did bring Bury to a standstill.
Was Stacey Solomon with him?
No, his sister was, who was also in EastEnders, whose name I forget. But he was a bloody ruddy nice bloke, Joe Swash. This is at the peak of his heartthrob Mickey Miller in EastEnders fame. So, friends, as we wrap up this Christmas special, we now have 2 potential. Well, one is definitely a lie. So 2 lies yet to find, and I want to finish with Mike, being as this is his vehicle. So I hope it's good. Stewie, what are your 3 facts?
Okay. The only award I have ever won in my life was for Rear of the Year.
You do have a good ass, I've got to say.
My cotton wool bud phobia was so severe, I had to undergo hypnotherapy.
Ooh.
And I, just like Michael Bacon, am a published author.
Yes.
Okay. Let's take them in order then. So the first one was you won an award for Rear of the Year. So how did you win this award? Where was it?
It was at school, which sounds a little bit odd, but at the end of my final GCSE year, while everyone else got most improved student of the year, etc., I got a joke award for Rear of the Year.
Is this judged by the teachers or by your fellow?
Sounds a bit wrong.
Students.
Yeah, it does sound a bit wrong out of context. So the backstory to it is that I once was given a detention for pulling a moonie out of the window at some other kids on the playground, and I got in trouble for that, and it was recognised with this award.
That sounds like something you'd do. Cotton wool bud fear, Stewie, which you alluded to earlier in terms of phobias. How did that manifest itself then? Why were you scared of cotton wool buds?
Oh, it's making me feel a bit funny thinking about them now. It's the I can't even do the motion, the texture. You know, when you sort of pull it apart and you do it between, it makes that squeaky feeling. Oh,
yeah,
disgusting. Hate it. Still don't like it now, but when I was younger,
hypnotherapy.
Yeah, like where you know, like they do it with like getting over smoking and stuff like that. It got so severe that my parents took me to see someone that sort of said close your eyes, and
you must have to now as a parent, Stu, you must have to use cotton wool every now and then, do you, for sort of dabbing onto wounds and stuff?
I tried to avoid all part of that when my daughter was younger. That was you can.
And what was the third one?
What's the third one? Published author.
Published author. So what did you write?
A football poem.
Where was it published?
In a book of football poems in the 90s that were kind of very, like kids would write football poems and they'd get collated into a book.
Okay. Any questions, boys? Yeah.
Can you read it for us?
I hope no. If I could have had it with me today, I would have read it out. I think my mum might have one in her loft. I believe the book was called "Here We Go," as if, like
I see what
as
they've
in the
done.
football chant. Yeah.
What was the
apostrophe,
first
"Here we
line?
go."
What was the first line of your published poem?
It was about
we
the England football team of Euro '96. I think it was called something like Three Lions Roaring, and it had reference to like safe hands seamen and
You see,
Stuart Pearce's brave defending and various things like that.
See, I believe that because, as many people know, when young Stu Pot had his interview at the East Anglian, which I was part of, he came with an almighty package of stuff that he'd done. Well, he came with an almighty package.
He was very impressed
of top stuff that he had done at university. Lots reels of stuff to impress the bosses.
Yeah.
So that to me, yes, that's the sort of thing that young Watto would have done, I reckon.
And you're obviously impressed by his award-winning ass as well, by the sound of it.
He had a lovely backside as he walked out on the ring. I said, employ him.
He's got it all. He's got it all, the lad.
He has got a lovely little bum.
I think I know which one is the lie. But any other questions, boys? Rossi, you've stayed quiet on this one.
No, I think I've made my decision, to be fair.
Okay, we're going to vote then. So, 1, did Stu want to win an award? The only award, indeed, he's ever won for Rear of the Year. 2, he had such a phobia of cotton wool buds, or cotton wool generally, that he had to have hypnotherapy. And 3, he's a published author, just like Elton John there. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
You can't see that.
I can't work out which way I'm saying mine. Well, I'm saying 3. 3.
3-2.
3 3s and a 2 from Mike.
So Mike's saying 2. The rest of us are saying 3. Stewie, what is the lie?
The lie is I once had hypnotherapy for a cotton wool phobia.
Okay. See, I know that you did have a thing about cotton wool because we talked about that before.
I do, and I would call it a mild phobia, but it never got to the stage of having hypnotherapy. So there was a hint of a truth about it.
As all the best lies are. Right then, Mike. This show was built around you as a vehicle for your talents as a raconteur. You're now going to end the Christmas show. We've got to find the lie in these 3 statements.
Right. These are my 3 statements. When I was young, I used to come out in a rash when I ate celery and had to have tablets to calm it down.
Okay.
2, I only have 1 contact lens. And 3, I once hit the post in a football match on Portman Road at the North Stand, now Sir Bobby Robson end.
Okay, that's a fairly wide-ranging and divergent bunch of facts. Why do you only have 1 contact lens? Is it because you put a car light in your other eye and that's useless now?
My brother poked my other eye out when we were young. No,
He poked your eye out? I've never noticed you've got a glass eye, Mike.
I have only 1 contact lens because one eye doesn't see very well.
And the other eye is good.
Doesn't see very well either, so I have a contact lens in that one.
Okay.
Hang on, that contradicts what you've said. So do you have 1 or 2?
I have 1, but the other one doesn't have anything in it because it doesn't see very well.
So it's too far gone, the other one, essentially.
Totally gone.
Totally gone.
You're blind in one eye?
As good as.
That would explain a lot.
You wear glasses. So what's going on with those then? Is one of them not?
They're just fashion.
One has only got a glass lens in and one's got a proper lens in.
Ah, okay.
So they've just given up on one of your eyes. It's so bad.
It's gone. Leave it, lads. Not worth
it. Yes.
Which one?
Which what?
Which one's the bad? Which one's the bad one?
My left eye.
Okay. Rossi, you look like you were going to jump in with a question. I'd imagine it's about celery, is it? What do you want to ask?
How old were you in the rash with celery?
6, 7, around 5, 6, 7. And if I had celery, I came out in a rash all over my chest.
What is it? Because celery is literally like the only thing you eat and actually burn more calories eating it than you do that you actually consume because there's nothing in it apart from water. What is it that makes you come out in a
I
rash?
I never liked the taste of it, but it actually had a reaction to me as well.
Just the chest, nowhere else.
This used to come across the chest. Yeah.
What 6-year-old is eating celery?
That's the real question.
I didn't in the end because I came out in a rash. I used to get a lot of rashes when I was younger.
It was definitely the celery.
Well, they stopped. They made that because I went to. They said you obviously are something you don't enjoy, something you don't like, and I had eaten celery that day.
Can you eat celery now without a rash?
No, hate it. Can't stand it.
But do you still get a rash, or you just don't eat it?
I don't eat it.
Okay. And the third one was you once hit the post in a game at Portman Road. So what was the game?
The game was I was playing for the East Anglia Daily Times in a friendly.
Against who?
Against then sponsored Fisons, who sponsored the football club. And the cross came over and I hit it, and it hit the post up the north stand.
Was it the post? The post that always got hit when Ipswich had, because Ipswich had an issue with a post at that end for many years.
Andrew. It could well have been. I can't. It was the right hand post as you look at it. Was that
That's
the post?
The one. I think so. Yeah. Steve Sedgley hit that. I think Bobby Petter hit that in a big game.
Mike Bacon hit it in a big game.
Who else was in your side?
It was an East Anglian Daily Times side, local sports journalists.
Richard, John, Paul,
Peter,
all the lads.
Peter Rabbit,
Leroy. Okay.
Where were you on the pitch when you hit the shot? Are you in the box, outside the box? What?
I was just, the cross came over and I was just out. No, I was in the box. I was near the penalty spot, and I spun a bit like Mbappe, and sort of spun it a bit like that, and it hit the post.
The Suffolk Mbappe. I've always said it. Okay, I think I know which is the lie, boys. So just to be cross the T's and dot the I's. Number one was the celery. Number two was the one bad eye. The other one's too far gone. And three was the hit the post at Portman Road.
Can I just before we vote, can I just say which one's your good eye?
The right eye's a good eye.
Right, cover that eye a minute.
Oh, he's gonna make him do a test.
How many fingers am I holding up?
6.
Okay. I'm ready to vote.
All right then. Which one is it, boys? Which is a lie? I think we're all going to say the same one. I am saying 2.
I'm going to go different.
Okay, so me, Rossi, and Stu are all saying the eye. Hutchie is saying the celery. Mike, which of those 3 facts is indeed a mistruth?
I never came out in a rash when I eat celery.
Hey.
Wow. So you have got one really bad eye.
Called a turn in the eye. Had it from birth, so it's not very strong. But the other one is so strong. The other one plays it off easily. So that's never given me a problem.
The other one's better than 20/20 vision.
Yeah. 40/40 vision.
Yeah. Okay, boys. Well, I enjoyed that. I think we've all learned stuff about us that we didn't actually know. Who should we crown the Christmas champion for 2022? Who is the best liar, do you reckon?
Me.
I wasn't really taking score, so I don't really know off the top of my head who
I had in terms of the worst seeker, that would be me. I think I only got one right out of all of those.
I
think I got a pretty good hit rate seeking, but not a great liar.
I think Andy's the winner. I think he got more right than anyone.
Okay.
A little straw poll.
Yeah. I think you sold us the most dummies though in terms of the lies.
Who? Me?
You did, yeah. Only one of us got that. Look, I'll tell you who's the winner. Christmas is the winner.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
The people are the winner. I hope you enjoyed that, friends. I hope you're having a great Christmas, whatever you're doing. And we will speak to you next time. Have a good one.